play by Richards that time. Otherwise, it might be 2-0, and William & Mary gets into the counterattack.
Counterattack, Jolly looking for Scrivani. It skips along the AstroTurf. Scrivani is able to keep it into the corner. Kyle Swords knocks it away. Another corner kick for the William & Mary Tribe.
Solid defensive play by Kyle Swords. We talk about these players like Konkinen and Bennett, and they're excellent players. Matheson, they're dynamic attackers, but I believe the strength of James Madison's team is their defense. Here it is again, Swords tackling correctly with a front leg, knocking it away, but William & Mary has a corner.
Let's see how they do on this one. Once again, Chris Norris always takes the corner kicks for the William & Mary Tribe, at least he has so far in this match. Norris, good looking corner. Billy Owens going for the header near post. It's headed away by Graham Perkovich. It will be another corner kick coming up. They went near post, so it appeared that time.
Billy Owens is only about 5'7", but Norris is so accurate with the ball, and Owens is so quick that he got in between two JMU defenders to get that ball.
Here we go again. Chris Norris. Richards went up for that one, but Ensley, the sweeper, clears it away. Now Jolly flicks it on. Perkovich forced to head it up. Purcell punches it away. The James Madison keeper. Now Wade Barrett. Good-looking cross. Purcell again. Punches it out. Michael Bona. Chris Norris skims across. Greg Richards, a boot on it. The pressure continues. Jolly, the bicycle kick. Juan Hughes goes after it. And we'll have a goal kick coming up.
Terrific effort by both sides that time. James Madison in clearing the ball out of the end. We're getting a cross coming in here, and this is Purcell going up, punching the ball wide. Terrific punching save. The ball's coming back in. William & Mary. This is Norris clipping the ball in. Norris drives it in, looking for Jolly, and the ball is cleared on a header away by Dan Ensley.
And
a bicycle by Jolly goes wide.
Andrew Petty at the back now for the William & Mary Tribe. Some great action on the part of the William & Mary Tribe as Chris Scrivani tries to go upfield. In fact, he's fouled. It'll be a free kick for the William & Mary Tribe.
We expected a physical game, and the game is really starting to take on that nature now. You're seeing some tremendous action. I thought this game would be a little more conservative, played a little more tight to the vest, but William & Mary falling down a goal, they feel they have to come out, and they're throwing a lot of players forward and going after every 50-50 ball.
We're going against the political mainstream. It is indeed a very active game, not a conservative game here this afternoon for the Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship. The James Madison Dukes in the purple lead the William & Mary Tribe 1-0. James Madison trying to three-peat as CAA champions. They've won the tournament the last 2 years. 2 years ago at Old Dominion. Last year the tournament was at Richmond, and this year, of course, here at Williamsburg. William & Mary trying to win it here on the home field. Billy Owens is fouled from behind. Quick restart to Chris Scrivani. Scrivani is handled there by Dan Ensley, the sweeper. For James Madison, it'll be a throw-in, though, for William & Mary.
I can't emphasize strongly enough how good James Madison's defense is. They've been under pressure much of this half, and they've responded very well. Even though William & Mary have had their chances, Madison has responded to every single situation. You see here the ball being clipped away by Ensley out of bounds. Good solid tackle by Dan Ensley.
Once again, the Madison Dukes tested at the back. Greg Richards thigh traps it down. Savolainen, though, knocks it upfield for James Madison. Headed down by Andrew Petty. Now Chris Norris, and they'll put it back to Paul Grafer, the goalkeeper.
Paul Grafer, an outstanding goalkeeper. He's been on the under-23 and under-20 national team. He's not given up very many goals this year. It's going to be tough to get another one on him today.
Now James Madison with the goal from Nathan Fairchild. Take the lead here, 1-0 with 18 minutes, 27 seconds left here in the first half of play. The James Madison Dukes, dangerous moments, Dan Ensley loses it to Juan Hughes. Hughes battles to keep it in, but it'll be a goal kick coming up for Barry Purcell and the Dukes.
Madison likes to build the ball out of the back through their defenders, and that time they did that, but that's a little risky against a team like William & Mary, which is extremely quick. Juan Hughes, who leads William & Mary in scoring with 20 goals this year, almost picked one off and created problems. They have to be careful holding the ball in the back end against such a quick team as William & Mary.
With a very competitive Colonial Athletic Association tournament, again, James Madison took penalty kicks to get by Old Dominion in the semifinals. William & Mary with only a 1-0 win over George Mason in the semifinals. But here we have the rematch of the top two teams in the CAA. And remember, William & Mary only won the regular season by goal differential. Mark Mathewson trying to turn on Andrew Petty. He cannot. And it'll be a throw-in coming up for the William & Mary Tribe. Again, the Tribe in the white jerseys, James Madison in the purple.
Mark Matheson's had a great year for James Madison. He's been a senior. Very, very fast player. He's had a lot of potential, and he's really started to use it this final campaign for the Dukes.
CP Savalainen challenging Chris Scrofani. Scrofani for William & Mary. Michael Botta knocks it upfield. Botta again. Headed by Dan Ensley. Scrofani now. Will throw it in for William & Mary to Juan Hughes. Hughes. Kyle Swords pokes it away. And it will be a throw-in coming up for the William & Mary Tribe. Barry Purcell's going to have to come out. He gets help on defense from Dan Ensley. And now Carlo Konkinen sweeps it away finally with authority.
Dave, you mentioned the help on defense from Dan Ensley. That's happened all along. He's won about 8 or 9 balls in the air. He's a terrific header of the ball. But Dan Ensley is coming to this game with an injured groin. He had to come out of the game against Old Dominion late in the second half. If he has to go down, it puts a change in the whole scope of the defense. They have to move Kyle Swords back. We can need to keep an eye on Dan Ensley to see how that injured groin holds up, see if he can go the whole game, because he's an important player in the air.
Steve Jolly backing up. Dan Ensley again wins it in the air. And Nathan Fairchild clears it out for James Madison. Back to Chris Norris, the sweeper for William & Mary. Tribe really pushing forward. Only Scott Ritter is back right now. Juan Hughes keeps it in play. Has got help from Scrofani, but Hughes instead goes one-on-one with Kyle Swords. Gets the cross. Barry Purcell is there. Billy Owens stumbled in the box, and that'll raise the attention of the crowd here in Williamsburg.
I think he did stumble in the box. I think you're correct. They want a card, excuse me, not a card, but they want a foul call on Perkovich, but Owens, I think, just simply fell going for that ball.
James Madison Dukes again in the purple with the lead. Carlo Konkinen now. Konkinen, nifty ball upfield. Looking for Brent Bennett. Bennett's now playing on the left side. Richard, what does that mean? Mark Mathewson's come over to the right.
Nothing significant really in that. The two are very active, and they switch sides with freedom, and they both play off each other very well. They've played together for 4 years. They understand each other, and they like to switch sides just to give the defense a different look.
James Madison Dukes says, look at David Clark. He is filling in for David Villarreal. Villarreal went out with a broken leg in the semifinals.
He's got an important job, David Clark, because not only does he have to contribute to the attack and fill the big shoes of David Villarreal, but also he's going to be marked against Wade Barrett, who's going for the ball here. Very, very clever player who can really get into the attack. David Clark has to work back on defense today, or Barrett's going to cause a lot of problems.
Good looking attack. Billy Owens to Steve Jolly. But Nathan Fairchild stops the attack, but it was a foul. And listen to this crowd here at Williamsburg. They are getting into it. It's great to see a lot of youth soccer teams on hand this afternoon, and they're helping the spirit of this contest.
We're watching Jolly coming forward, and that the ball is knocked away by Fairchild. I'm not so sure. I think it was a good, clean tackle by Fairchild. At any rate, it slows down the William & Mary attack, but they're going again on a restart.
Andrew Petty lofts it into the air. Again, the battle for the header. Kyle Swords goes up for it. Greg Richards now, half volley, but that'll sail over the crossbar. And it ricochets off the fence that is behind that crossbar. We have a substitute coming in for the contest. For the James Madison Dukes, Jeff Honeysett will check in. And it looks like Mark Mathewson will go out.
Giving him a break. Honeysett, big player. Good in the air. Tom Martin wants him to get even better in the air. He's about 6'3", and he could really be a presence. We've already seen the importance of the air game. William & Mary is one of the smallest teams in the country, Dave, but they are terrific in the air. They have great timing, great accurate service coming forward, and they've really tested the Dukes in the back.
In fact, Honeysett just a freshman. He's from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, as he checks into the match, and you can't miss him. He's almost on the ball now, number 22. Chris Norris at the back, but getting around him is Brent Bennett. Grafer's out, Bennett the shot. It's in the net. It's in the net. A goal for the James Madison Dukes.
Tremendous play by Brent Bennett. We talked about him at the top of the show, how he had to come through today, and indeed he did. He showed his extraordinary quickness. Norris came out for the ball, didn't quite get it. Bennett picked it away, and with a poise of an established veteran, the All-American that he is, put the ball into the back of net past Grafer coming out. We're watching it now. Bennett Jumps on the back pass. Norris doesn't get there. Bennett takes time to look with poise, slips it under Grafer. Into the back of net. It's 2-0 Madison, and this really changes the game. Once again, a lot of composure, and it's a good lesson for players to observe how you take your time and have the poise. The great players have the poise, and Bennett showed it then.
Steve Jolly now for the William & Mary Tribe. They trail 2-0. They get it wide to Greg Richards. Billy Owens can't trap it down. Loose ball. Andrew Petty fires a shot. Purcell. It's in the net. Andrew Petty.
The time when goals are most often scored are after another goal's been scored. This time Madison had a very, very unfortunate let-up. I think they were still thinking about the first one. Petty came forward from the back. Terrific goal coming forward. We're watching it here. It's a scramble in front. Petty picks up the ball, gets one touch, drives the shot. I don't think Purcell expected it. And he goes down, but the ball's over the top. That should have been saved by Purcell. With the shot once again, Petty driving it with his left foot. Purcell doesn't get to the ball at the near post. He should have saved that ball, and now we've got a game all over again.
2-1 the score. Andrew Petty tallies the goal for the William & Mary Tribe. Again, the William & Mary Tribe in the white jerseys. Offsides the call as James Madison tried to go upfield. So for Andrew Petty, that is his first goal of the 1994 season. Not a bad time.
Couldn't have come at a better time. And coming forward out of the back, and that really lifts the spirits of the Tribe.
He took that on the half volley, and Purcell partially, as you see, blocked it, but it ends up in the back of the net. Michael Bona going after it, but Dan Ensley. Nice work on defense. Ensley tripped from behind. It'll be a free kick coming up for the James Madison Dukes, and Ensley went down hard on an AstroTurf, which does not give.
He does. He gets tripped by Boda. It's a nasty foul, and a very clear foul, possibly a cautionable offense. The thing we're worried about with Ensley, though, is not just getting tripped, but how that groin is going to hold up. That's a key factor, because he's been the key man in the back, winning everything in the air thus far.
Ensley for Brent Bennett. Bennett looking for Jeff Honeysett. Chris Norris, though, clears it for William & Mary. Now Steve Jolly trying to get in position. Jolly and Nathan Fairchild jostle for position. And it'll be a free kick coming up for James Madison. Now a little gamesmanship between Jolly and Fairchild. And we hope that's all it is.
That matchup between Fairchild and Jolly is a critical one. Jolly may be the best defensive midfielder in the CAA, and Fairchild may be the best defensive midfielder in the CAA, and Jolly perhaps the best attacking midfielder in the CAA. They're going up 1 versus 1 on each other. Their battle will have a lot to do with how this game evolves.
Throw in for the William & Mary Tribe. Kyle Sordzo with the header. Fairchild to Bennett. Bennett challenged hard by Ritter. Scott Ritter with a hard challenge on Brent Bennett, and now that keys the William & Mary counterattack. Kyle Swords. Nathan Fairchild. And a foul on Steve Jolly, and there's that matchup again.
Steve Jolly is an excellent player, but he tends to get very excited. He needs to keep his composure. He's a terrific athlete, but he must keep his poise in a game as critical as this and not make key mistakes.
Nathan Fairchild. Good looking ball into the box. Honeysett was going for it. Cleared out by William & Mary. Michael Bona now. The Tribe to Billy Owens. David Clark, though, wrests him from the ball. Ensley loses it over the touchline. It'll be a throw-in for William & Mary. High lofting ball for Michael Bona. Bona now. The James Madison Dukes. Jeff Honeysett. Honeysett with plenty of space. Doesn't make the most wise use of it, and it goes to Paul Grafer.
Little misread that time. Savalainen was coming down the left side. Honeysett expected him to continue on his run. Savalainen, fearing he'd be caught off sides, didn't, and the ball was played in. Easy play for the William & Mary keeper.
Michael Bona goes after this service from Chris Norris. Chris Scrofani. Scrofani. In the middle to Steve Jolly. This is the most settled the play has been. Looking for Wade Barrett. He'll go over the touchline, go to James Madison. This has been a very intense match from the opening whistle.
We talked about David Clark earlier and the job he has to do opposite Wade Barrett. Thus far, he's done it very, very well, and we've heard very little from Barrett coming out of the right side.
Michael Botta again at the back. He's starting to lead the William & Mary offense from the back. Botta looking for Juan Hughes, or perhaps Barrett on that same side, the right side, but Grant Perkovich is there for James Madison, and it ricochets, I believe, off Wade Barrett. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the James Madison Dukes. James Madison leads this contest 2-1. 8 minutes left here in the first half of play. Again, 2 45-minute halves is what it's all about. The Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship on the line. Barrett with the ball in the middle to Greg Richards. Owens to Greg Richards. He stopped at the top of the box. Owens sliding through. But now Savalainen. CP Savalainen is played off the ball by Scrofani. It'll come near to our broadcast position, and it'll be a throw-in coming up for the James Madison Dukes.
Terrific action that last time. A series of 1-2s by William Barry, and we're seeing a yellow card being issued to Graham Perkovich of James Madison. I believe it was for dissent. He may have made a comment to the official after the play. He got nicked a little bit when he tried to clear that last ball out. He may have said something inappropriate.
George Figuera is the man in the middle this afternoon. Again, assisted by Jack White and Tarek Khan. Jeff Honeysett to Brent Bennett. Bennett back heel for Honeysett. It's cleared away by Norris for William & Mary. Now Juan Hughes. Hughes. He's nicked by Perkovich. Hughes gets it out to Wade Barrett. Barrett going after it. Into the corner goes Wade Barrett. The cross. That should be a throw-in, I believe, coming up.
That ball is a throw-in, and what William Mary is trying to do is lock in this throw, not letting them get out of the back. We saw, again, good defending by David Clark, tracking back and not allowing Barrett to make quite as accurate a cross as he otherwise would have done without the pressure that Clark was able to apply.
6:49 left here, first half of play. Dave Johnson, Richard Braun in Williamsburg for the Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship. 2-1 the score. It has been very entertaining so far. We expect more of the same the rest of the way. At the back, Dan Ensley, the sweeper. CP Savalainen now for the James Madison Dukes. Savalainen to Jeff Honeysett. Honeysett, then 6'4" is Honeysett. Maintains the drive. Savalainen now creates space for Bennett. Bennett makes the turn. Now Honeysett out to Nathan Fairchild. Fairchild uses the incept for Savalainen, trying to keep it in, and it will be a goal kick coming up for William & Mary. We have a couple of substitutions getting set to check into the contest. David Schifrin will come in for William & Mary, and Trevor Hurst will go in for the James Madison Dukes. David Schifrin, a defender. He's a junior from right here in Williamsburg, and Trevor Hurst is a freshman midfielder from Dumfries, Virginia.
It's interesting they brought on David Schifrin to take the place of Michael Botta. I think Botta's been an effective player coming forward for William & Mary. Maybe they just want to give him a rest. James Madison bringing on Hurst for the last 6 minutes to give Bennett that little extra rest that he's going to need to have in the second half in order to be effective.
And again, that's a good point we should bring up about, as Dan Ensley has some trouble with it. We'll get to that point in a moment. And it will be a corner kick coming up for William & Mary. Substitution. If you substitute a player in the first half, he can come back in the second half.
That's right, but he cannot come back in the first half itself. So Bennett and Matheson are out for the rest of this half, as is Botta from William & Mary. It was interesting, Dave. I thought that ball went off Scrofani, but William & Mary gets the call anyway. They've got that corner. We know already what a threat they are on all these restarts.
Indeed, they are trying to equalize here. Chris Norris. Schifrin goes up for it, as is Juan Hughes. Billy Owens near post. The scramble continues, and finally Kyle Swords clears it out. They brought up David Schifrin from his defensive position using his height at 6'1".
He's a very athletic player, and he can really get up and challenge for balls in the air, as we saw just then. Nice play by Purcell, and the ball was cleared from the line by Kyle Swords.
On the throw-in. Out to Wade Barrett. Barrett sends it right back into the box. And that that one is cleared out without question by James Madison. Chris Norris with a hopeful header. David Schifrin now. Scrofani looking for Juan Hughes. Hughes settles it. Hughes has space, fires over the crossbar. And they'll say a corner kick.
Will be another corner. Is deflected by a James Madison player. Juan Hughes, the opportunist on the William & Mary attack. He's got 20 goals this year. He almost made it 21 there.
Norris again will take the corner. His legs got to be getting tired, Richard. Norris going for it is Jolly, punched away by Purcell. Now Scrofani. And it'll be a goal kick for James Madison.
And finally a bit of relief for the James Madison defense. This is the way William & Mary plays. They throw a lot of players forward in the box. They're not afraid to attack, and they are very, very quick as we look at a beleaguered Barry Purcell, who's been the most active man on the field probably today.
Mark Miles will check in for the James Madison Dukes. Miles is a sophomore defender from Potomac, Maryland, out of Winston Churchill High School, and he'll replace C.P. Savolainen.
You talked about goalkeeping. Purcell has really been under the gun, and he's really responded well in the air. It's just that one miscue on that low-driven ball by Andrew Petty resulting in the goal, and it certainly has inspired William & Mary to really go after him.
Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship on the line this afternoon from Williamsburg, Virginia. 2-1 is the score. James Madison in the purple leads William & Mary in the white. Juan Hughes trying to get around Kyle Swords. Scrofani steps right in. It'll be a throw-in, though, for James Madison and Kyle Swords.
Excellent tackle by Kyle Swords. I am continuing to be impressed by his tackling ability. Very quick in the tackle and hard to beat one-on-one, even by a player as skillful as Juan Hughes.
Nathan Fairchild chest traps it down. Scrofani challenges him. Long ball upfield looking for Trevor Hurst. And that'll go over the touchline. It'll be a throw-in for William & Mary.
You need on any team, you're dynamic, you're charismatic individuals. Madison has them in Bennett and Konkinen, but they've got those solid, dependable players like Swords and Fairchild that just do their job day in and day out, and they're important cogs in the Duke's success.
Norris, a long ball upfield, headed away by Perkovich, but here comes Steve Jolly knifing through. Leaves it for Owens. In for Wade Barrett, but Mark Miles steps in front for James Madison. Amazing intensity this afternoon.
Nice play by Graham Perkovich, another one of JMU's unsung heroes.
Greg Richards. Juan Hughes curls it in. Harry Purcell is out to smother it.
William & Mary has tremendous fighting spirit. They've had it ever since Al Albert took over as the coach here. He's a very low-key type person himself, but he inspires his players. Here's Purcell coming out for the ball, and he needs to come off his line to make those plays, as you see Swords tracking back on his man.
David Clark now for James Madison and the Dukes. Carlo Konkinen. Challenged by Ritter, goes over the touchline, and it'll be a throw-in for James Madison.
This game has been very different from what I expected. I thought I'd see a close to the best game, but when Madison scored that first goal, it kind of set the tone for all the action thereafter. It's been end-to-end, constant threats on the opponent's goal. We've seen a tremendous half of soccer.
And in fact, up until Madison scoring that first goal, William & Mary had the run of play. Juan Hughes looking for the header. Instead, Dan Ensley heads it away for James Madison. David Schifrin now. He's from right here in Williamsburg. Schifrin. And it'll be a throw for James Madison. We're in the waning moments of this very entertaining first half of soccer. 3 goals. The James Madison Dukes, the defending champions, on top of the William & Mary Tribe, 2-1. And there you have it. 45 minutes of the Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship in the books here at Bush Field in Williamsburg, Virginia. And wow, what a first half indeed. William & Mary, you look at the Aztecs soccer team, one of the many soccer teams visiting here and enjoying this match. We're coming back with our halftime festivities to get the halftime score. The James Madison Dukes 2, the William & Mary Tribe 1. We're coming back.
CAA Soccer Championship collectors and TVs are being sold at the White Tent Park.
for the second half of action here. The Wonder Hostess CAA Finals is corporate sponsorship involved in this soccer championship. That is always great to see. And of course, for Tom Yeager, the commissioner of the Colonial Athletic Association, they have helped bring soccer to the forefront in this region, as the CAA is a very serious soccer conference.
Very serious soccer conference. I'd say one of the two best in the country and moving up all the time. I think the William and Mary and James Madison, the top two teams of the conference, can play with anybody in the country.
And they will be a part of the NCAA tournament. Remember, the pairings for that come out tomorrow. Carlo Konkinen is furious that Steve Jolly collided with him. Again, William and Mary, as we're underway here in the white jerseys, James Madison in the purple jerseys, and this is what Carlo Konkinen is so furious about.
Jolly comes forward, Konkinen challenges him, and Jolly merely throws Konkinen to the ground. Again, Konkinen has to expect some physical contact, but Jolly is not one to shy away from it. Steve Jolly's an important player for William Mary. He's a hard, aggressive player, but he can't get carried away and have silly fouls and that distract him from his game.
All right, Jolly steals it away, intercepts the Perkovich pass, and here comes Steve Jolly trying to get it out to the wing to Juan Hughes, but James Madison's Mark Miles intervenes. So some of the subs still in the contest for the James Madison Dukes as we start the second half of play.
Important substitution. Mark Miles is in and Dan Ensley is out. We talked about him with that bad groin. He may have re-injured it or just extended it, so he can't go. And they move Kyle Swords in the back. Mark Miles is doing the marking. Right now he's marking Juan Hughes, and he's got his work cut out for him.
Miles chest traps it down for James Madison. This has been a clean game, an intense game, but fortunately it's not like the regular season meeting, which got rather out of hand. It became too physical and deteriorated. That was a 1-1 final in the regular season. Again, these two teams only separated by goal differential in the regular season. That's how William and Mary won the Colonial Athletic Association regular season title. And James Madison finishing in second, but both with identical records of 6-0-1.
I really think that situation with Ensley's groin is critical. If he can't come back in, Madison is really going to be under pressure, because he was the man that was clearing a lot of those head balls out in the first half.
Throw-in coming up for Steve Jolly and the William and Mary Tribe. Again, the Tribe in the white jerseys. They trail 2-1 here on their home turf. Acrobatic style, Barry Purcell goes up for it and snares it. Nice work on the part of Barry Purcell, the James Madison goalkeeper.
So what a great athlete Steve Jolly is, making that flip throw in there, but Purcell did a good job coming off his line, and he's been very, very good in the air. The one mistake that he's made today has been on the ground. Bailey, the goalkeeper that played the other part of the season, alternated with Purcell, is very good on the ground, whereas Purcell's the better player in the air.
Mark Mathewson comes into the box. Here comes Mathewson, the shot, great for the save. It squims by, cleared off the line. William and Mary come up big.
Tremendous action that last time. Coming for is Matheson on a breakaway. Grafer with a big-time save. Here's Matheson coming in. He's being tracked by Jolly. Gets off the shot. Grafer with a save, but the ball flicks out. Matheson gets another touch, and coming to clear that ball off the line, it looks like Scott Norris clearing the ball just off the line, just before it was about to go in the back of the net.
So Chris Norris, actually.
I'm sorry, Scott Ritter it was, coming forth to clear it off the line. Scott Ritter the save on that one, keeping the score at 2-1.
Grafer did make the initial save, so a tense moment. That would have made it 3-1. Header there by Konkinen. Back to Paul Grafer. To Scott Ritter, who has kept this game at 2-1. Ritter working from the left side. Long ball upfield for Billy Owens. Graham Perkovich intervenes. Throw in for William and Mary. Now Chris Scrofani. Scrofani rather on the cross. Kyle Swords. Savalainen. Graham Perkovich. Switches direction. Wade Barrett runs this one down. Back to Chris Norris, the sweeper for William and Mary. Pokes it forward to Juan Hughes, but he loses it to David Clark of James Madison. The Tribe maintain the attack. Steve Jolly, he will send this one, and it's just wide.
Terrific shot by Jolly. You see another example of what a good, strong, athletic player he is, winning the ball and coming forward, just missing that shot wide of the post as Purcell dives for it. This is Jolly striking it with his left foot. And the ball goes just wide. Purcell scrambling to get there, can't quite reach it.
And that ball is picking up speed on the turf.
If you watch very carefully, Purcell has a tendency to dive a bit flat instead of extending himself out, presenting a wide barrier. And he is vulnerable on the ground. That's where he was beaten, not actually on the ground, but on a low ball. He's much better in the air. And of course, you need a player in the air to contend with the flighted crosses that William Mary's so good at getting into the box against the opposition.
CP Savalainen now for the James Madison Dukes. Challenged by Wade Barrett. Savalainen still in play. Back to Nathan Fairchild. Fairchild for Perkovic. Perkovic for James Madison will put it back to Kyle Swords. Swords, ambitious ball, looking upfield. Wade Barrett handles it. Charging through Mark Miles, a sweeper to David Clark. Now James Madison has to get back on defense. Jolly looking for Juan Hughes. Kyle Swords comes up with it. James Madison in the purple leads William and Mary in the white 2-1. Billy Owens now. Owens looking for Bonner. Kyle Swords, so steady on defense.
Solid play by Kyle Swords. There's a lot of pressure on him to fill in that sweeper position, but of course he played there last year. He's used to it, but it's a big adjustment when you have to go from being a marker to a free libero in the back, as Swords is being asked to do in the second half. Again, that injury to Ensley could be critical.
Now again, explain that. When you're talking about a free libero, you're talking about the sweeper position.
Talking about a sweeper, he's not so much a libero in coming forward, he's being the sweeper, the free defender behind the two marking players. He was marking in the first half. Miles has gone on. Miles has the job of marking Juan Hughes, and that's a big responsibility for him.
William and Mary again. Chris Scrofani running after this, so is Patrick McSorley. Scrofani runs out of real estate, and it'll be a throw-in for James Madison. Mark Miles down the back. William and Mary, the try. Perkovic chases this one down for James Madison. And another goal kick coming up for the James Madison Dukes. And you look at this stat, the Dukes have not lost a game in conference we talked about since October of 1992 when they lost to Gordon Bradley's George Mason Patriots 3-2. So 25-0-2 they are now by my count.
Remarkable record, and one of the reasons is we just saw there Graham Perkovic tracking back, making the defensive play. Good teams are built around sound defense, and that certainly is the case of Tom Martin's James Madison team.
And Tom Martin in his 9th season as James Madison head coach. Al Albert in his 24th season as William and Mary head coach. We're coming to you from Williamsburg, Virginia, of course, home of William and Mary. These two teams met in the regular season on this very field. The final was 1-1. Mark Miles now for the James Madison Dukes. Brent Bennett. Nice flick, but Steve Jolly right there. Now Chris Norris. Matthewson challenges. Savalainen can't push it forward. Now Patrick McSorley to Brent Bennett. Bennett trying to create on the right flank. He's got two markers to beat. And he loses that battle.
One of those two markers he beat was Steve Jolly, who was all over this field in the second half. A fierce competitor. He's going to play both ways for William and Mary.
Throw-in coming up for the William and Mary tribe. Juan Hughes trying to get onto it. Be a throw-in now for the James Madison Dukes.
Important battle there with Mark Miles covering Juan Hughes. He was a forward most of his career here, was a forward at Winston Churchill High School as a high school player. Now he's got to do a very important defensive job, shutting down Juan Hughes, who has 20 goals on the year.
Juan Hughes, the leading scorer in the CAA, 47 points. That's something. Mark Matthewson now. Matthewson in the corner. James Madison once again on the attack. Matthewson gets around Petty in the middle to Bennett. Comes out to McSorley. The shot, it's blocked in traffic. Now Savalainen takes a thundering shot, but Paul Grafer is there.
Good action by James Madison that time. A couple chances, and William Mary's defense stood the test. Looking at Matheson, leaves Petty in the dust as Petty dives in. Matheson lays this ball back across. Bennett misses it. McSorley takes a chance, blocked by Ritter. Ball comes out. It's Savalainen who takes about a 25-yard shot, but only in on the ground, and it's saved quite easily by Paul Grafer.
You mentioned Mathewson left Petty in the dust. That's artificial dust on this field. Chris Norris now for the William and Mary Tribe. Now to Bill Owens. Juan Hughes, Tribe control it well. Greg Richards. Back to Wade Barrett. Unbelievable day for soccer. Temperatures near 70 degrees here in Williamsburg. Steve Jolly trying to maintain presence. Jolly trying to get around Kyle Swords. Jolly wins that battle. Now Nathan Fairchild tugs him down. That could be a card. Fairchild and Jolly, that's been a pretty good matchup all along. And now Jolly is pushed down again. And now Billy Owens takes a makeshift swing at the ball to try to get the wall back. And this will get the crowd more into it, but hopefully not in a negative way. These two teams are heated rivals.
Here's the situation by Jolly battling around Fairchild. He makes it through. It was probably a foul that time. Jolly still has it. Fairchild comes back, and he commits the foul on Jolly, pulling him down. It's very important to keep your composure in this situation.
On the restart, it sails into the autumn leaves. And we continue to look at the previous play, and those two go at it. Nathan Fairchild, and Fairchild pushes Jolly.
But I don't think he pushed him quite that hard. It was a superb acting job, perhaps worthy of an Oscar by Jolly that time. It's important now that these teams keep their composure, not get terribly excited. It's especially important for James Madison to do so. They're on the road in an unfamiliar surface, and they can't let the crowd and the action get them flustered. They have to do their job in order to win.
By the way, that would be an Emmy. This is television. James Madison Dukes in the purple, the William and Mary Tribe in the white, and you can hear the crowd. The temperature has just gone up a few degrees. And again, these two teams, heated rivals. That's Fairchild getting that leg up awful high. And once again, Steve Jolly goes down.
I think Jolly could win maybe an Emmy and an Oscar for some of the dives he's taken out here today.
William and Mary in the white with the throw-in. So fasten your seatbelts. Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship, 2-1 the score. Graham Perkovich clears it away from Madison. Now William and Mary trying to come on the attack again. Greg Richards got a boot in there, but Mark Miles comes forward. Miles now on the ball. Looking for the speedy Brent Bennett. Chris Norris heads it away.
Steady play by Norris. That's what you look for from your sweeper, what William and Mary gets from Chris Norris.
Billy Owens makes the turn. Lofts it into the box, headed away by Mark Miles. Beautiful header on Miles' part. CAA Soccer Championship on the line. Chris Norris looks wide for Wade Barrett. David Clark's been on him all day. Wade Barrett cannot make the cross, but gets the corner. This is corner number 8 of the afternoon.
We're getting used to watch these, and Barry Purcell is going to be thinking about these in his sleep, having nightmares over these corners that have been really dangerous.
Well, I hate to say this for Madison fans, but you get 8 or 9 corners in a game, you typically will score at least a goal on one. Comes out, and once again, Mark Miles there on defense, using his size. Norris, back to Wade Barrett.
When these teams played earlier, Mark Miles really struggled. He was exploited by William Mary. He has something to prove today. He's not a natural defender. He's converted to defender toward the end of this year. He's done a real good job since coming on at the end of the first half. He has to continue to do so. He's got a very tough responsibility in Juan Hughes.
31 minutes, 18 seconds left in regulation. 2-1 the score as Patrick McSorley and Chris Grafani go at it on the far sideline. And it'll be James Madison's ball. William & Mary has had the better part of possession, I would say now, Richard, for the good last 5 or 6 minutes.
And I expect them to continue to do so. They're a very aggressive team. They're particularly tough at home. They play very, very hard. What this does, though, it leaves them open in the back. And you saw earlier, there was Mark Matheson had the chance. He broke through, and only a great play by Grafer coming out. Then when Matheson followed, a great play by Scott Ritter pulling the ball off the line, kept the score from being 3-1. William & Mary's going to come forward, but they can't get too exposed in the back.
Barry Purcell has to come out again, the James Madison Dukes goalkeeper. William & Mary trying to clear it out of their defensive midfield now. Steve Jolly onto the ball. Jolly sends it up to Billy Owens. Owens marked by Perkovich. Perkovich knocks it away. Jolly keeps it alive. Looking for Scrofani in the corner. Savalainen is there. Scrofani and Savalainen. And it'll be a free kick coming up for William & Mary.
That's interesting. They called obstruction on Savalainen. He thought he was pushed from behind by Scrofani, but the call goes to William & Mary. Savalainen is holding the ball, and yes, he did move into Scrofani's path. A good call by the official.
George Vergara doing the refereeing this afternoon, and I think so far, Richards, he's had a very good game, and this is a tough situation when you're talking about a conference final. On the restart, up for it is Richards. Greg Richards, now Wade Barrett. William & Mary in attacking position. Barrett, and it's cleared out. William & Mary vulnerable now on defense. David Clark running upfield. That's Ritter on him. Clark now gets it wide, and Paul Grafer comes up with it.
Long run by David Clark, and just no one to serve it to. Bennett was coming in. He needed to get to that near post and just couldn't quite get there. And Clark, after running about 70 yards with the ball, just didn't have enough muster to bring it back.
Here's where we stand, all in the first half. Nathan Fairchild, Brent Bennett with James Madison goals. And then William & Mary on Andrew Petty to make it 2-1. Here comes the James Madison Dukes. So Mathewson is free again. And it will be a corner kick coming up for the James Madison Dukes.
We talked about Madison's ability to counterattack. When you have the speed that players like Brent Bennett and Mark Matheson have, you're always dangerous on the counterattack. Looking at David Clark laying the ball inside for Matheson. He comes out, but good tracking by Norris, and Grafer is out there for the ball, but it does result in a corner for Madison.
Carlo Konkinen out wide. William & Mary will control. Juan Hughes sends it upfield for Billy Owens. Owens gets around Kyle Swords. He has one man to beat. He's got help. Greg Richards now. Richards takes the shot. Purcell the save.
Excellent angle by Purcell to cut down that shot. Excellent play, Barry Purcell.
I thought that was the equalizer, Richard.
Very, very close. A good shot by Greg Richards. He got it up a little bit.
Now, Purcell did what he had to do. He came out and made himself look big.
He did. We're watching the shot. There it is by Richards, and Purcell with a splendid save. Probably the save of the match thus far.
2-1. James Madison still leads, but William & Mary with yet another corner. That's 10 by my count. Chris Norris. Purcell is up. He can't get it. Purcell wanted a foul. Barry Purcell, the goalkeeper. Andrew Petty down at the back. Petty lofts it. He was looking for Jolly or Scrofani. And it'll be a throw-in for William & Mary.
Gotten a little glimpse of what we're going to see for the next 30 minutes. Barry Purcell has been tested very, very hard up to now. He'll be tested even harder by this aggressive William & Mary team in the last 25, 30 minutes.
We got 27 minutes to go, and William & Mary just continues to put the pressure on. And they're without Dan Ensley, the starting sweeper, out with, we presume, that groin injury. Mark Miles, with no question on that, heads it away. Now Brent Bennett, he got around Ritter. Ritter comes in, Bennett still has it. Bennett fires just wide. He got a step on Scott Ritter, but couldn't finish.
Very, very close, and I know Brent Bennett wants to have that one back. He's a left-footed player. He'd like to have been able to take this with his right foot. Here's Bennett coming out on that counterattack we spoke of. Ritter's going to make a try for him at the top of the box. He does not get it. Bennett keeps his balance, goes in, tries to play it to the far post with his left foot, just misses. Good job by Grafer cutting down the angle. We're looking again. Draper's out, doesn't give him a lot to shoot it at, and Bennett pushes it wide to the far post.
Wade Barrett wins the corner kick for William & Mary at the other end. The Tribe with yet another corner kick. This is the Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship. James Madison leads 2-1. And it looks like Jeff Honeysett will come back into the contest for James Madison, replacing Mark Matthewson.
And if you notice, Honeysett is back in the box defending, and every player in James Madison is inside the penalty box defending these William & Mary corners. They have nobody up to counterattack. It's so important that they win this ball.
Chris Norris once again. Madison may only have 2 corner kicks on the afternoon. Norris. Billy Owens knocks it out. Now Patrick McSorley will lead the charge. Wade Barrett will knock it back to Scott Ritter. Ritter, who saved a goal off the line earlier this afternoon. Chris Norris loses it over the touchline, and it will be a throw-in coming up for the James Madison Dukes.
You noticed on that previous corner, Norris served that ball with his left foot. He usually serves it with his right foot, serving it with his left to get a different angle on the ball. He can serve it accurately either foot.
Brent Bennett can't make the turn. I think Scott Ritter may have stepped on him.
Bennett is very frustrated.
Yeah. I think he got a cleat in the back.
Scott Ritter has played an excellent game, but he's having trouble staying with Brent Bennett now in one-on-one situations.
That's
because William & Mary are pushing their players forward and there's no cover, and Bennett is really into this game. He has had an up-and-down season. He started very, very well. He struggled lately, but he's been dynamic and explosive as he was early in the season. He's been that way today.
Nathan Fairchild and Carlo Concanen confer. You look at the replay.
Bennett has the ball. He's not allowed to turn. He's taken out very hard by Ritter. It looks like Ritter steps on him afterward, and could have very easily been a cautionable offense.
George Vergara has not had to use the card this afternoon. Here we go. The restart. Carlo Concanen into the wall. Now the restart. David Clark, or I should say the rebound, and it goes wide. And now a goal kick for William & Mary. Point I was making about George Vergara, the referee, he has not had to use a caution yet. Well, one caution to Graham Perkovich for dissent, but he's been able to keep this game intact.
George Vergara has done a superb job in a very, very explosive situation. Anytime you get 2 rivals out here, it's going to be heated, and these 2 teams are excellent teams as well. This is for national ranking and tournament seeding right here.
In the NCAA tournament, both these teams will be a part of it, but again, a good point for tournament seeding is what may be on the line this afternoon, along with the Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship. James Madison, look out, Richard Broad. This is coming near our way and bounces right in front of our broadcast position. I was ready to snare it for us.
I think we've got Purcell and Grafer to do that, Dave. We'll keep them in their positions, and we'll stay here.
I'll tell you, as it went into the sky here in the sunshine, gave me appreciation what the goalkeepers have to go through this afternoon, and it will be a free kick coming up for William & Mary.
Essentially another corner as Chris Norris comes down to take it. Clark is marking Barrett. Very clever player. Knows how to shield the ball. Clark gets a little anxious and dives in and takes him down. And from this angle, it's just the same as a corner kick. William & Mary's had about 10 corners and about 3 or 4 more restarts from this position.
Chris Norris now. This is trouble, but it's headed away by Mark Miles. Miles has done a wonderful job keeping it alive. Goal opportunity here as it's popped into the box. But Brent Bennett is able to clear for James Madison. Now Chris Norris. Wade Barrett. Barrett. Now Steve, out Michael Boda. Steve Jolly for the William & Mary Tribe. Carlo Concanen with the challenge, but Jolie maintains. Now Jolly. They work it out wide, the cross, McSorley heads it away. Wade Barrett settles, fires, headed away again by McSorley. And thundering through, Chris Scrofani, it'll be a goal kick.
Tremendous action that time. A great header by Pat McSorley probably prevented Barrett from tying it. The ball came down and Scrofani narrowly misses it as we look at a beleaguered Barry Purcell.
Credit Patrick McSorley with keeping this ball out of the box. There's one header right there.
Ball is headed away by McSorley. Barrett drives this ball. It's headed away by McSorley. It looked like it's going to bend into the far post. Attempt to clear the ball on the far side by Fairchild, and Scrofani drills that ball just over the top of the net.
21 minutes left in regulation. Only a goal separates these two teams. 2-1 the score. No one has scored here in the second half. Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship on the line. And it will be a William & Mary throw-in.
The intensity of this game is unbelievable. 3 goals scored in the first half, none yet in the second, but we have had incredible action.
Wade Barrett again with some space. Barrett sends it, low shot that Purcell is able to handle. Carlo Concanen for James Madison as they work into the sunshine. He's got Honeysett cutting far post. He looks for Honeysett. Honeysett comes knifing through. It's in the net. It's in the net. A goal for the James Madison Dukes.
Very important counter-attacking goal. A terrific ball crossed in there by Concanen. Grayfer came out, but not as aggressively as he should have. We're watching Concanen drive that ball. Honeysett in on it. Grayfer looks like he has it, and just a little touch by Honeysett, and the ball rolls into the back of the net. Grayfer needed to come out more aggressively on that ball, and he doesn't. And he's going to pay for it. Here's Honeysett just getting that foot on it before Grayfer can get there. I think Grayfer thought he had it. He didn't. Little anecdote about this, Dave. Jeff Honeysett is a 6'3". He should be very good in the air. He's not as good as he should be in the air, and they've been working on improving him. And that time, instead of going for that ball with his head, he touched it in with his foot. And I think Tom Martin, even though he'd like to improve Honeysett's heading, will take the result in that situation.
No question, it makes it 3-1 after relentless pressure on the part of the William & Mary Tribe. But the Tribe come up empty, and James Madison now leads 3-1. And the offside flag goes up, and I don't know about that one from my angle, Richard. I thought they were dead even, but that's neither here nor there. It'll be a free kick, William & Mary.
3-1 with 20 minutes to go, but this game is far from over. William & Mary has tremendous fighting spirit. They've always had this tremendous never-say-die attitude instilled in them by Coach Al Albert. They're not going to quit. There's no quit in this team.
Juan Hughes now, the ball for the Tribe. Steve Jolly looking for Wade Barrett. Trevor Hurst shields him from the ball. It'll be a goal kick coming up for James Madison. The puzzling thing, though, or perhaps the frustrating thing if you're a William & Mary fan, is they have had the action. They have put the pressure on, but yet in the flow of play, really, they've not been able to come up with a goal. The only one was the Andrew Petty shot in the first half.
It's again a tribute to the great defensive work by James Madison. And Mark Miles has come off the bench to fill in for Dan Ensley and has done a terrific job to this point.
Purcell up in the air. Honeysett going for Chris Norris. Gets it out of there. Now Billy Owens. Kyle Swords at the back. Now, we were talking about this yesterday, Richard. You mentioned how organized James Madison is, and this is showing up on defense.
Just a tribute to the tremendous coaching. Tom Martin has been a winner everywhere he's been with almost every team he's had, and it shows in his organization of that team defense. When you can lose a player like Dan Ensley and move someone else like Mark Miles in and not miss a beat.
CP Savalainen with the foul. Again, both these teams we expect to be in the NCAA tournament.
As we look at the foul right now, this is Jolly, who is taken down by Savalainen, and William & Mary will build the play out of the back.
James Madison going for the third straight CAA title. Billy Owens, juke step, fires, Purcell the save. He pounces and smothers.
Great save by Purcell. He dives for that low shot. I think they realize they got a goal and a low shot in the first half, and Coach Albert has probably asked his players to drive the ball low. They've tested Purcell, but he's been up to the challenge thus far.
And Purcell will boot it away.
Here's the shot by Owens. Low-driven ball, and Purcell sprawling at the near post makes the save.
William & Mary Tribe trying to answer back. 3-1 the score. James Madison in the purple with the lead. Jeff Honeysett gets onto this ball. Honeysett, Grayfer comes out. Honeysett pokes it. It's cleared away. And I believe the Madison fans wanted a back pass of sorts as it went from a William & Mary player to the goalkeeper. Steve Jolly now for the Tribe. Can't get in the box. Billy Owens. He's got Wade Barrett wide. Owens takes a step, fires a shot. It's off Nathan Fairchild. Now Patrick McSorley for the Madison Dukes. 16 minutes left in regulation. McSorley has space. Coming out is Grafer. He comes up with it.
End-to-end action. We saw a breakaway before with Honeysett coming and Norris pulling the ball off the line. This time it's a breakthrough by McSorley, who's a dangerous finisher. But Grafer this time coming out, the ball gets a little bit far off McSorley's feet, saved by Paul Grafer.
The goalkeepers always have to put their face on the line. Foul on James Madison as Billy Owens getting worked over. The crowd maintains its enthusiasm. And well, they should. On the restart, Chris Scrofani fires a shot just wide. Now, I was talking earlier that James Madison, I think on this play, wanted a back pass. Here's why. It's cleared off the line, and Grafer comes up with it. What do you think, Richard?
Exactly. It should have been an indirect kick. He's not allowed to take that plate from his teammates' feet. Very, very perceptive observation on that, Dave. More perceptive than the referee had. He should not have been allowed to get away with that because that ball was cleared off the line by Norris's feet, and Grafer instinctively grabbed that ball. It should have been an indirect kick for James Madison. They were correct in arguing.
William and Mary, though, still trying to get one back. They trail 3-1. Steve Jolly going far post for Scrofani, the header. Here comes Billy Owens. It's over the crossbar.
Tremendous action. What a great cross in by Jolly into Scrofani, who lays it back for Owens. And again, Madison dodges a bullet. Here's the ball laid back by Scrofani. Miles is about to clear it. Owens gets inside him and just nicks it high.
I'll tell you what, if that's on natural grass, he may have been able to do more with that. You saw how it bounced so high, Owens had to take it high and loft it over the crossbar.
The AstroTurf is a factor on this field, but both teams have got to contend with it, and it's an excellent AstroTurf field. I think the teams have adjusted by now, and they're really playing their game.
David Schifrin with the header. Now CP Savolainen. Savolainen will loft this. And it should be possession for Wade and Mary as it bends inbounds. Wade Barrett up the touchline. Juan Hughes positioned with Grant Perkovich. It'll be a throw-in for James Madison. And actually, let's say, will be James Madison. I thought actually Perkovich had knocked it out.
I think it went off Juan Hughes. Perkovich argued and got the decision his way. Grant Perkovich has had a terrific game in the back. He's just so steady and so reliable.
Nathan Fairchild now. Mark Mathewson is back into the contest. Jeff Honeysett to Mathewson. Mathewson the shot, and Grafer the save.
Terrific play again by Paul Grafer, coming out and cutting down that angle. There's Matheson coming through. One of the things that Madison has always been known for is having a number of players who can come in up front. And this second half, they've been able to bring on Honeysett for Bennett and for Matheson. We're looking at it again. Honeysett lays this ball back for Matheson, who's coming through. Grafer coming out very aggressively, hands to the near post, blocks the ball with his feet as Matheson tries to go back to the far.
Chris Norris into the air. Kyle Swords has to take that on the half volley. Carlo Konkinen off the side of his boot, trying to get it up to CP Savolainen. And now David Schifrin. They work it out wide. Here come the William & Mary Tribe once again. Greg Richards coming in, but Barry Purcell is able to snare the service.
Saw Purcell raise his hand because that ball's coming right out of that sun, and it's a real tough job for a goalkeeper to field those flighted balls coming from that side of the pitch, the left side of William & Mary's attack.
Look at it again, Purcell
goes up and wins the ball against Richards, who's a very, very dangerous player in the air.
Meantime, William & Mary having trouble getting the throw-in in. Should be a free kick. And now Carlo Konkinen is given a card by George Vigera.
Konkinen is the captain of the team, so he feels that he's responsible for asserting the rights of his teammate, but he's a little bit verbal perhaps in his dissent that time and gets a yellow card, which is a caution.
David Schifrin with the throw-in for William & Mary. In position, Trevor Hurst, and Once again, a throw-in coming up for William & Mary.
Tom Martin showing great confidence in a couple of his underclassmen, Trevor Hurst and Jeff Honeysett, and using them in the second half in a critical game and a critical time of the game.
Kyle Swords sweeps it away. Wade Barrett tried to head it down. Now Billy Owens. Mark Miles, he's been a rock on defense.
Mark Miles has had the game of his life in the back in the second half for Madison.
Jeff Honeysett for Mark Mathewson. Here comes Mathewson. He gets around Grafer, but Grafer made an initial save, and now Mathewson has to chase it out. A great 1-2. Mathewson was onside. Make no mistake about that.
Terrific 1-2 combination that time. It's about the third or fourth time even that Matheson's been through clear, and he hasn't managed to get one yet. I'm sure he's frustrated by now.
CP Savolainen with the ball. Time now a big factor. 11 minutes and change left in regulation. The Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship on the line. James Madison trying to three-peat. They lead 3-1.
You have to be impressed with Madison's poise and composure in the back, and the way they've countered. They could have very easily gotten the fourth goal, and that would make it almost impossible. As it is, William Mary's still in this contest.
Juan Hughes keeps it alive. Billy Owens looking for Wade Barrett. Perkovich stops it. The hustle of the William & Mary players is impressive. David Schifrin now at the back. Gets it back to Paul Grafer, and Grafer does what he has to do. Mark Miles now to CP Savolainen. Savolainen bends it back, but William & Mary there on defense. Steve Jolly now, trying to get it upfield, but Patrick McSorley intervenes. Chris Norris moving up. William & Mary continues to press. Carlo Konkinen heads it away for James Madison. Chris Norris is coming more forward, trying to get out on the wing. His vision denied. Now Owens. I don't think Scrofani's going to get to that one. And meantime, Fairchild dumps Scrofani as the two go after it.
I think Scrofani maybe threw himself on the ground, hoping he'd get a call in that particular situation. As we see a substitution coming on, it's Andrew Petty coming back on for Michael Botta.
Yep. Good game for Michael Botta, though, and he offered great service from the back.
Scrofani runs into Fairchild, who has position inside him, and I think Scrofani was hoping for a call for another restart for William & Mary. He didn't get it.
Under 10 minutes left here in the Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship. The James Madison Dukes have not lost a CAA match since October of 1992. William & Mary trails 3-1. They were the regular season champions, but as we talked about, only by goal differential. Still, that counts. Mark Miles knocks it away. It'll be a foul and a free kick for William & Mary.
Did call the foul on Miles that particular time, but he's been very, very solid in that defense. Mark Miles, if Madison wins this, he's one of the unsung heroes.
Andrew Petty will take the free kick. Petty. Schifrin went up for the header, but Honeysett heads it away. Trevor Hurst also helping out. Now Scott Ritter. Ritter traps it down. Juan Hughes for Billy Owens. Owens settles it, gets it back to David Schifrin. Schifrin puts it into the box, cleared away by Kyle Swords. William Mary's efforts not being rewarded with goals this afternoon. Juan Hughes traps it down, can't control it. Nathan Fairchild on the clearance. Madison more of a defensive posture for obvious reasons. Graham Perkovich now. Scrofani challenges him. David Schifrin. Scrofani trying to get around Perkovich. Goal kick.
Superb defense by Graham Perkovich that time. He is just such a rock in this defense. Great job. He couldn't quite get the ball out before, but just kept his head, model for how you should play consistently and solidly on defense.
Barry Purcell will have the goal kick. Substitution made. And It looks like Carlo Konkinen will check out. Brent Bennett will check in. Ball knocked upfield. William & Mary's Juan Hughes. Hughes, Mark Miles blocks. It'll be a corner kick coming up. And we're being asked to come up with a player of the game, Richard, and this is a hard decision.
This game isn't over yet, not by any means. 7 minutes is not much. We've had a lot of people who are good candidates.
Purcell goes up for it. I think Jolly was into his back, Steve Jolly. Well, there's certainly one of the candidates for it, Barry Purcell, who's been big and come up with some big saves, but it's been a team effort for the James Madison Dukes.
It has been. Purcell has been enormous, especially in the air, handling all these flighted balls in the back. But to select a player of the game, I think we need to wait just a couple more minutes to see, because there are a lot of candidates.
But certainly Barry Purcell, right down the top of the list as we take a look at Purcell. 3-1 the score. 6:40 left in regulation. Mark Mathewson makes the turn. Gets it to Brent Bennett. Back to Mathewson, intervening Petty. Bennett now has the ball, fires a shot, Gray for the save, but it is not going to go in the net. Almost.
Agonizing moment as that ball trickled toward the line, but went just wide. Again, illustrating the explosiveness of Matheson and Bennett. Here's the ball played by Bennett, tried to get it to Matheson across, wins the ball back, takes the shot. It's knocked down by Grafer and trickles toward the line, but ends up going just wide of the post, and Grafer manages to collect it there.
Andrew Petty now at the back. 5 minutes and change left in this contest. Billy Owens traps it down. James Madison's so organized on defense. Nathan Fairchild helping out. David Schifrin, good work on his part, but Fairchild is able to clear. Chris Norris for Billy Owens. Owens has Richards open. If he sees him, can't get it to him, but a handball by Jeff Honeysett. Greg Richards was all alone right side of the box.
He had Greg Richards wide open, not a man within 10 yards of him, and that handball by Honeysett may have saved a goal. Very dangerous situation here. They are really explosive. I look for Jolly to hit this one.
Barry Purcell, Jolly does hit it, and good effort, but a goal kick.
Tried to chip it over the outside of the wall, but a little bit high as Purcell signals to his defenders, just relax, take your time. He's got everything in control, and he really has had everything into control with about 4 minutes to go. Right now, unless a miracle happens and William & Mary can pull it out, I have to think that we're looking at Barry Purcell, who I think should be our player of the game.
Well, there you see why. William & Mary with 15, I would have almost thought they had more of an advantage on James Madison than they did, but either way, William & Mary certainly with more of the offensive pressure. That has been the story of the afternoon. Trevor Hurst clears the way. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the William & Mary Tribe. 4 minutes left. Can they come up with 2 goals to equalize? It may not be probable, but it's certainly possible. Andrew Petty. Jolly comes through, cannot get a clean shot. Norris keeps it alive. Now Honeysett. William & Mary, of course, vulnerable at the back now. Andrew Petty clears it away as Mark Mathewson collides with Petty. And Mathewson gets a foul.
Matheson disputing that call, but that's an obvious charge. He ran into Petty, and he might have tried to do it. He thought he could nick one through and get a breakaway. Good job by Petty on that last situation. It's Petty clearing the ball. Matheson hits him after he's given it up.
Chris Norris over to Jolly now. Steve Jolly gets it taken away by Jeff Honeysett. Honeysett. We got the third goal to Patrick McSorley. He's got Bennett right and Mathewson left. McSorley takes it in, fires a shot. He had Mathewson wide open. Savalainen now to Bennett. The pressure man, great for the save. Under 3 minutes now. in the Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championship. William & Mary on the counterattack. Billy Owens keeps it alive. Here they come. Owens lofts it. Goal kick.
Madison showing their poise that particular situation. They had a counterattack. They didn't throw too many people forward, leaving them exposed to the counterattack. The result, they were very well organized and forced Owens to take a long chip, which didn't quite produce the result desired.
2 minutes, 18 seconds left. James Madison Dukes in the purple, trying to make it 3 in a row. 3 Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Championships in a row. But for the William & Mary Tribe, they only lose 1 starting senior, Chris Norris. Andrew Penny and Mathewson battle for it. It'll be a throw-in coming up for William & Mary. Penny now on the throw-in, looking for Wade Barrett. Barrett gets off his man, Trevor Hurst. Foul on Trevor Hurst and a free kick for the William & Mary Tribe.
I think they gave a corner on that one, but virtually the same result anyway. We're getting up. No, they didn't. They did call a foul on Hurst that time, and Norris will be serving it in. We're having trouble making up our mind.
No,
it was
a corner.
It's a difference of about 10 yards. Let's see if it makes any difference in the result of this corner.
Norris once again. Purcell comes out, punches it away.
Terrific play by Purcell, who's gotten stronger as the game's gone on.
The one stat I got to take a look at the end of this game as it goes over the touchline is the number of corner kicks. And Purcell has had to handle so many of them. I believe it's up to 12 now by unofficial count, but we've got to get an official count on that because it's just been incredible.
And you can add about 3 or 4 more indirect or direct restarts from that flank box area when there's been a foul and they've had the same thing as a corner kick for William & Mary.
And again, the Tribe have had the offensive pressure. 46 seconds left in regulation. Norris takes it. Purcell the save.
And isn't it fitting that the last chance probably for William & Mary ends up in Barry Purcell's hands? He's been the guy all game long. He gave up 1 goal in the first half, but he just got better and better. And I know Tom Martin agonized over the decision whether to go with Brian Bailey, another fine keeper, with Barry Purcell. And it looks like he made the right decision.
And Kyle Swords, it's been a team effort on defense. As Swords sees that one to the touchline, it'll be a throw-in coming up for James Madison. But 10 seconds left here in regulation. And that should do it. The James Madison Dukes are the 1994 Colonial Athletic Association Soccer Champions, making a 3-peat. Barry Purcell, the goalkeeper for the James Madison Dukes, who was kept so busy all afternoon, our player of the game. Again, the final. The James Madison Dukes defeating the William & Mary Tribe 3-1. As we take a look at Barry Purcell, sophomore goalkeeper, our CAA player of the game. He's from Richmond, Virginia Collegiate High School. So congratulations to him. Again, the final. The James Madison Dukes 3, the William & Mary Tribe 1. The Dukes are the CAA champions. We're coming back.